I used to think having too many passions made me unfocused. Like I couldn't commit to just one thing. But here's what I discovered while building a career that I actually love. Being multi-passionate isn't the problem. Not understanding how your passions work together is. Today, while I sew this Halloween apron, I'm going to show you exactly how I went from confused multi-passionate to confident content creator and associate therapist. Sewing an apron takes many different pieces. You have fabric, threads, scissors, a sewing machine, maybe even a pattern. When you look at these products separately, they're just fragments, different products. And if you're new to sewing, you might even feel lost, like not knowing what goes where or how it all fits together. And that's exactly how I used to feel about my own life. Sewing, psychology, business, wellness, creativity, they all felt like competing identities fighting for my attention. I loved making things, I loved helping people, I loved understanding human potential, but I couldn't see how any of it could coexist in one career. And for years, I thought I had to just pick one. There was even a time when I remember I would see someone just thriving in their career and I would think like, gosh, I just wish I loved one thing. Like how much easier my life would be if I could just say like, I want to just be a teacher. Or I would look at them and I would think like, okay, how do they know how to do that? How do they get to just pick one thing? Why can't I just choose one thing? And I thought my curiosity was a weakness, when really it was the thing trying to lead me home. But here's what changed everything for me, and what I believe can change things for you too, is I stopped seeing my passions as separate pieces and I started looking at the common thread, or AKA your theme. And just like this apron, the pieces aren't random. They complement each other. And when you stitch them together intentionally, you create something aligned, something cohesive, functional, and even beautiful. And when I started seeing my passions this way, something in me just relaxed. Like I didn't need to abandon any part of myself. I just needed to understand how each interest was teaching me a piece of the same story all along. And if you're new here, I'm an associate marriage and family therapist who started this channel before I even entered graduate school. And it took me years to find a career that felt right for my personality and gave me the freedom I wanted. Flexibility, creativity, and balance. And soon, working 3 5-hour days a week will more than cover my needs, which I am super excited about. But just like choosing the right fabrics for this apron, finding that kind of path meant discovering what I now call your person-business fit. The business that fits who you are, not who the world tells you to be. Think of your passions like fabric swatches, spread all across the table. Each has its own texture, pattern, and even story. But without a pattern, they can feel like a mess. And your anchor is that pattern. An anchor is an evidence-based framework that helps you see the themes connecting it all. And when I say person business fit, I mean designing a business model that actually matches your energy, your values, and your personality type. So for instance, if I'm working with a client who loves both teaching and painting, at first those interests can seem totally separate, completely unrelated, but when we look deeper, we find a common theme, the theme of helping others see things differently. And suddenly, when you catch that theme, you're no longer torn between two or more paths because it becomes one integrated version. For example, in this case, instead of just teaching and painting, when we see the theme of helping others see things differently, this opens up more opportunities for an integrated version, like maybe art therapy, creative workshops, or online courses, all honoring both passions. But here's what some people miss. It's not just about the theme of your interests. It's about repeating themes in your life story that reveal how you're meant to serve. And for me, one of my core themes is creativity. Whether I'm sewing, helping clients design a more authentic life, or guiding someone to build a business that feels like them, it's always about using creativity as a tool for self-understanding. And if this idea of merging your passions into one cohesive business is resonating, I created a paid guide called How to Find Your Business Idea. And it's the exact process that I use because it walks you through an identity inventory, which helps you uncover the parts of yourself that are most relevant to building a business that feels aligned, meaningful, and profitable. And then if you want to go deeper, but maybe you don't want to pay for any products, I also created a free 30-day journal reflection series to help you get even clearer on your patterns and passions. So you can find both links in the description below. But they're perfect for the next step if you're ready to stop feeling scattered and start seeing your passions more clearly. When I started this channel, it was all DIY sewing videos. And honestly, in the back of my mind, I hoped it could one day turn into an income. But this time, I just let curiosity take the lead. I mean, there were moments I definitely wanted to quit because I just couldn't figure out where I fit in the YouTube universe. But every time I followed my curiosity, whether it was sewing a video or a mindset topic, someone would reach out about that video topic. That's just when I realized that clarity doesn't always have to come before action. It actually came through it. And that's when everything clicked for me as a content creator. I realized that my passions weren't random. They were actually reflections of the same essence: creativity, empowerment, and personal growth, just expressed in different ways. So if there's one thing that I hope you take away, it's this: you don't have to choose between your passions. You just need to learn how to stitch them together intentionally. You're not unfocused, you're not scattered, you're simply looking at the pieces instead of the pattern. And when you find that pattern, that is your person-business fit, everything starts to make sense. So don't forget, if you want help finding your common thread, your theme, grab my guide, How to Find Your Business Idea, so that you can discover your core themes and not only your interests, but the rest of your identity, and translate them into a business that feels like you. And if you're craving deeper mindset work or evidence-based tools, then definitely check out my podcast because every episode comes with reflective prompts that you can actually use. So thanks for sewing with me today, literally and figuratively. I'll see you in the next video.